A shocking video of EMTs in the town of Catskill yanking on a disabled man's arms and legs as he lay on their ambulance floor. In the video, you can hear the EMTs laughing at the man, yelling at him to get up. That patient was eventually transported to the hospital and was told the doctors discovered he had internal bleeding in his right leg. His family and friends tonight are calling for justice.
I literally just watched you put yourself on the ground on purpose. Like, I'm not playing the game with you.
Friday night, shortly after 7 p.m., Thomas Wygant called 911 to go to the hospital for high blood sugar.
I'm feeling too high. I couldn't walk. I was giddy, and I told her I can't walk. He made me walk.
Town of Catskill EMTs arrived.
I can't carry him down the stairs. Don't be done having shortness of breath.
They walked him over to the ambulance and told him to get in.
Let's go.
As Tom is climbing into the ambulance to get on the gurney, he falls.
You need to get up.
You gotta pull yourself up. You shouldn't have gone down there.
I can't get you up now.
That's
you can
just,
do it. There's no reason why you went down like that.
That was a dumb...
Tom now laying on the floor. The female EMT attempts to pull him up by his arm. Moments later, the male starts to pull him out of the rig by his leg.
When you pulled me by my feet, it hurt me.
Catskill town officials say they have seen the videos and are investigating what happened. Meanwhile, the EMTs involved are currently not on the schedule to continue working. Tom's friends and family are now calling for justice, saying the way he was treated was wrong.
I could only watch the first one where he fell off the bed. I did not watch the rest of them because I was so upset.
I'm sorry, man. I'm not trying to laugh at you, but I feel like I'm dealing with a teenager right now. Like, I feel like I'm dealing with my 7-year-old that won't follow directions.
What kind of EMTs do they have on there?
Is there any reason as to why you would think that the EMTs would treat you or your husband this way?
That I do not know. I do not know. I'll never trust the Catskill Ambulance Squad again.
His wife tells me Tom is doing better today, walking around the hospital room, and is expected to be discharged soon. Now, we are expecting more details from the town supervisor once their investigation is complete, and we will let you know once it is.
Good morning, and welcome to the Bad Apple Report. It's 7:30 a.m., bright and early right here at home on the range. Thank you so much for being here, folks. You're awesome, as always. We have a big show today. But first, I have to ask you, how are you guys feeling? Are you enjoying the last days of spring? It's truly beautiful here in Tennessee, you guys. Low humidity, the weather's nice. I wouldn't say cool, but it's nice. In a few days, it's going to be so hot I won't be able to sit outside. So today, I'm going to bring you the Bad Apple Report from out here in nature, right here at home on the range. On with the show. Banging through some headlines. Okay, we have the unstable Barnstable County Corrections Officer who was arrested on assault charges. Oh, all right, June 8th, 2024. It's already June 12th, so let's see what's happening. He's already out watching the Bad Apple Report this morning. A Barnstable County Sheriff's Office corrections officer has been arrested on allegations of assault, plural, on an inmate last month, officials announced. Gregory, oh lordy, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Desjardins, 38, was arrested Saturday after investigators reviewed surveillance video following a report from a former inmate of a past assault and battery at a Barnstable House of Corrections between May 25th and May 26th. Desjardins will be arraigned Monday in Falmouth District Court on charges of assault. 2 charges of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, and intimidation of a witness. Oh. District Attorney Galabois contacted the New Bedford Police Chief, Paul Oliveira, to request that Mr. Desjardins' license to carry a firearm be immediately and indefinitely suspended in light of the charges. The Cape and Islands District Attorney's Office reiterates that all defendants are presumed innocent. Okay. And you know what? I should be presumed hillbilly. I know I sound like I have a mouthful of marbles regularly, but try pronouncing these names. Jeez. All right, moving on.
That's right. They say it is for a reason. In these court papers, charging documents, prosecutors say this is not the first time that suspect mistakenly accused someone of committing a crime. And in this most recent case, they say it led to the death of a teenager.
In these newly released court papers, authorities paint 51-year-old Aaron Myers as an overzealous, paranoid security guard.
This is not just prosecutors believing that this is a murder case. This is the police who investigated who referred it as a murder case.
Bolstering that allegation, stunning new details in these court papers, with Myers allegedly shooting the teenage victim 6 times in the back. All of it when he accused that boy and his friends of trying to commit armed robbery.
There's a very big difference between the allegations here and what a trained professional would do.
According to prosecutors, Myers was an armed, off-duty security guard at the time of this incident, yet they say he had absolutely no jurisdiction to patrol this strip mall as a security guard in the first place. They also say this is not the first time Myers has made a mistake when it comes to being a security guard. Back in 2022, prosecutors say he threatened to shoot a bicyclist that he thought was carrying a weapon. Yet when police responded, they say that the person carrying that supposed gun, well, it was actually a silver metal object that may have been part of the bicycle.
Myers is currently at the King County Jail. Again, his bail, $2 million. Coming to you live from Seattle tonight. Ryan Sims, KOMO News.
Okay, you guys, the sheriff in the next piece here, he's really making waves with his little social media account. He's pretty cool. He's got it dialed in, his TikTok. But you know what? We're making waves out here on the Bad Apple Report, too. And so you just keep doing your thing, Sheriff, and we'll just keep doing our thing on the Bad Apple Report. That's right. And you're on it today.
Although this car hit speeds of 160 miles.
On Facebook, TikTok, or other social media, the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office has made a routine of putting arrests and suspects front and center. But the videos are becoming heavily scrutinized, now by Mackenzie LaPointe, a U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida. Through a public record request, I learned LaPointe and Pearson discreetly spoke on the phone in April about LaPointe's concerns the videos hurt law enforcement's credibility. LaPointe wrote this letter to the Sheriff's Office General Counsel nearly a month after that phone call, also putting his concerns in writing. This is the first post LaPointe says he took issue with, Pearson posing with a suspect. Writing, quote, "This disturbing image comes across as if the sheriff is posing with an antelope that he just shot on a safari. An arrest is not the appropriate time for an unauthorized selfie with an arrestee." LaPointe said he received concerns about this picture from community members and minority members of his own workforce. But he says this is the post that made him pick up the phone and call Pearson. He said the reel plays music with what he called racially insensitive references. The song title, the N-word, in Paris, displayed on the screen. Writing, "These posts make law enforcement's job more difficult and can tarnish our credibility." In a response, Pearson said, quote, that he wholeheartedly disagrees with your statement that the videos hurt their credibility and that, quote, "we will continue to highlight criminals and crimes in an effort to dissuade those thinking about breaking our laws."
Elijah's now in custody.
A suspect featured in a different video, Elijah Norton, was charged with fleeing and eluding among other alleged crimes, but agreed to speak to me from jail about Pearson's claims that the videos deter crime.
The sheriff will argue, hey, when I put criminals, alleged criminals, on blast on social media, it prevents them from wanting to come back to my county to commit crimes. Do you feel that way?
No, definitely not. I'm not gonna lie. In my perspective, it probably make them come back because they're gonna be mad or something like that.
In the weeks after we learned these letters were sent between Pearson and LaPointe, State Attorney Tom Backadall also wrote down his concerns in an article in TC Palm, calling the sheriff's videos constant search for clickbait. And Circuit Judge Michael Heisey sounded off about the videos in a hearing seeking a gag order against the sheriff.
Immature, unprofessional, and downright asinine video.
Pearson also writing, the videos, quote, "show those who question our credibility that we mean business." Megan McRoberts, WPTV News Channel.
These corrupt mayors across the nation, it seems like they're competing with Tiffany Henyard, you know, super duper mayor. But this guy up there by her, they're saying he's a real contender.
Tonight, another South suburban town faces controversy.
Just like we've seen in Dalton, it involves the community protesting against their mayor.
Our Nate Rogers picks up the story from here in Harvey.
There are many issues here in Harvey that residents have brought to our attention. Residents marched from a nearby church right here to the municipal center before tonight's meeting. Several police officers were on hand, some residents calling that an intimidation tactic.
We're just seeking the transparency, participatory governance. We have several questions about the bills list, and if we know what's going on in adjacent communities, we certainly don't want to model those types of things.
Stop holding the license! Leave the churches alone!
tension in suburban Harvey continues to grow, residents taking their fight to the street in a peaceful protest. Where are the licenses? Finally, outside Harvey's Municipal Center, residents holding signs, one of them saying, quote, Mayor Clark is worse than Tiffany Henyard. Another one, quote, stop harassing vendors. Business owners saying their licenses are being held up, residents complaining of a 3% water hike. Pastors outraged after Harvey churches are now required to obtain a business license or their doors threaten to be closed. At least 2 city council members and a packed room of concerned residents are calling for transparency on how village dollars are being spent. The mayor's critics are also asking that his administration be investigated along with his business dealings.
It's unacceptable. You have been elected to serve. You should serve with integrity, not pushing the agenda of the mayor, not pushing the agenda of what he has asked you to do in his office, but I'm expecting people to do what they have been elected to do. And when you get aside from that, then you need to be removed.
What? Why are you intimidating somebody with a business? How can this happen when we got more policemen here than I've ever seen in a year? Who's paying for all of this? Who's paying for all of this stuff we got going?
When it comes to the money, we just ask for transparency. You're an attorney, you know better.
Now, city council members tell us more than 70 businesses and over 100 churches are impacted by Mayor Chris Clark's latest mandates. We asked to speak to Mayor Clark. I even gave my business card to his chief of staff. We were told no, that he is not available. And as always, here in Harvey, Nate Rogers, Fox 32 Chicago.
You know what? Through it all, Tiffany Henyard ain't going to let nobody outdo her. Even when it comes to corruption, she's like, hell no. Hold my chalice.
What are you holding there? I have 4 tickets issued from the Village of Dalton, and each ticket is $500 a piece. That is $2,000 worth of tickets that I have here.
Dalton Park District President Cleo Jones says they were stunned last week when they received citations for doing work without a permit. He says 2 of the tickets were issued for spreading fresh mulch on district playgrounds.
So every year we replenish the mulch in the park to ensure that the safety of the kids are playing on a safe surface by playing on some healthy mulch. And we do this every year. Have they ever asked for a permit before? Never. Never in a million years.
The other 2 tickets appear to be for replacing old playground equipment with brand new equipment.
My response was, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What does the village have to do with the park district?
Jones believes the park district, a separate unit of government, is being targeted by controversial Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who's currently at the center of an FBI corruption investigation. The park district believes it's retaliation for allowing the 4 Dalton trustees opposed to Henyard to hold meetings at a park district field house after they were barred from Village Hall, including the meeting in which they appointed former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot to investigate Henyard.
We do not play the politics here, and don't put us in the middle of politics by issuing us these political citations.
But it's not just mulch and swing sets. They say Henyard is holding up $600,000 in grants for the park district, one from Blue Cross Blue Shield, the other from the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, by refusing to issue permits for the work.
We have gone to the village for permitting and they have been unresponsive. I have a project manager that is working on that and they just refuse to give us the permits.
Dalton Park District Director Stephanie Wiedemann says if they don't get the permits in the next few weeks, the $400,000 grant to overhaul Blackstone Park with a new walking path and gazebo will expire. And taxpayers will have to eat $150,000 in money that's already been spent for the park's design.
What resident wants to look outside of their house and see beat up stuff? If we can upgrade these things and you're preventing it with a permit, the residents are suffering. They don't get to look out their door and see nice things because you're stopping it.
Just because we finish doing something safe for the community, upgrading our playgrounds. Why? Why are we receiving citations for doing upgrades to our playgrounds?
In Dalton, Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
In the meantime, we want to get to Galveston County, where controversy is brewing in the race for county sheriff. There, the top candidate is under investigation for trying to hide previous discrimination accusations and arrests.
The Texas Commission on Law Enforcement says that Republican candidate Jimmy Fullen is at risk of losing his peace officer's license. KPRC2's Corley Peel is outside the Galveston County Sheriff's Office with what this means for the future of his campaign.
As of right now, he still has a license, so Jimmy Fullen can still work as a peace officer and potentially become sheriff until the investigation says otherwise. And today we spoke with the man who filed the initial complaint that ultimately launched this investigation. With the Republican primary win and a long list of endorsements, including Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, the Galveston County Sheriff candidate frontrunner's peace officer's license is now at stake.
A lot of people are interested in this. A lot of these citizens are upset.
Kenneth Williams is a retired Galveston County Sheriff deputy. He filed a complaint with T-Cole after digging into Fullen's past. He says Fullen was not truthful on 2 of his work history statements with Galveston County Constable Precinct 2 and the Texas City Police Department.
There was a personal history statement that he completed in October 2023, and then one that he completed in January of 2024. And I myself found 19 omissions and or lies on one of them and 20 on the other.
KPRC2 obtained this document showing T-Cole's executive director's petition recommending revoking Fullen's license. It shows Fullen is accused of leaving out several discipline actions against him, including 2 previous arrests, being accused of discrimination, and being fired or asked to resign. And what would that mean if he lost his peace officer license?
He will never be a police officer again. He shouldn't be a police officer again. You cannot falsify government documents. If he falsifies those government documents, will he falsify a report on you?
Fullen sent KPRC2 a statement saying, "We have filed a response with T-Cole and intend to contest the allegations." I did get in contact with Fullen's opposing candidate, Democrat Mark Salinas. He told me that Galveston County needs a representative that doesn't have issues with a license and isn't a risk or liability. He says he wishes Fullen well. Fullen is seeking a hearing. It's unclear when that hearing will be. In Galveston, Corley Peel, KPRC 2 News.
Okay, so what do you bet the folks will still vote that cattle rustling looking gunsmoke character sheriff into office? And Tiffany Henyard, she'll be elected in a landslide after all this, and so will that other goofy mayor, and they go on and on and on. It's because people vote for that stuff. They do. And thusly, the Bad Apple Report will go on. But that's it for today, folks. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you showing up this morning and every morning right here at Home on the Range. I got the date wrong earlier. It's actually the 13th today. So you guys have a great day. I hope you have a wonderful day. And we'll see you right back here tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Take care.